How I Maintain My Academics by Dominick Stogner. If you do your best, you will always become successful in whatever you do. My mom always tells me that when I'm feeling like I can't do something or I'm discouraged about my work. Ever since I was little, there was two people that pushed me the most. It was my mom and dad. My mom taught me how to do it, and my dad said, do it or else. With these two wonderful people in my life, I learned to be a strong and courageous person in everything I do. I've been going to a Christian school till high school. I used to live in Lake City, Florida. Then I came to Lexington, South Carolina. Before I came to Lexington, I went to multiple schools when I was little. Epiphany was a school in Lake City, Florida I used to go to ever since kindergarten through 3rd grade. Then I came to Pillion, South Carolina to live with my great-grandma and papa. During this time, my family and I were looking for an affordable house to live in. When we lived with my grandma and papa, I went to this really small school with 80 students called Convent Christian Academy. I went to this school for only 1 year. I was in the 4th grade when I went to Convent Christian Academy, but that year I didn't really like that school. Some of the people weren't the nicest people in the world. Also, during this time, I was having a lot of trouble with my schoolwork, including reading, writing, and other subjects. I didn't know what I had got into moving to South Carolina with all these different people. Like I remember, some of my classmates used to pick on me when I read. This is what made me do better in school, and my mom practiced with me every night to learn how to read more efficient. A lot of things were happening during this time. Me and my family finally found a nice and affordable house to live in. I also found a new school to go to, and it was called Covenant Christian Academy. The first day there was great. The people were nice and the teachers were very helpful. It made me think that South Carolina wasn't that bad after all. I made a lot of new friends there, and even to this day, some of them are still my friends. The only hard part was I maintained the sports I like to do and my schoolwork. During the 5th grade through the 8th grade, I played 2 sports that I was trying to maintain. It was a hard thing to get used to, and I was struggling, but I never gave up. The sports I did were basketball and racing go-karts. I succeeded in my sports, but my schoolwork started to get harder and my grades started to drop. My mom tried to help me in every way she could. When that didn't work, she hired a tutor for all the subjects I was weak in. Between going to practice, getting up for school after the day was over, I was extremely exhausted. Finally, I gave up a sport to help me in my schoolwork. I ended up selling my go-kart and buying a truck so I can have transportation back and forth to school. I stuck with basketball during middle school. I started to do a lot better in my academics, my reading, and writing after I stopped go-kart racing. Before I knew it, I was in high school, and this was the first time I ever had been in a public school. It was a tremendous change for me at this point in my life. Different people surrounded me, and it was a different scenery. Even the academics got harder. At this time, I was still playing basketball. At this point, I had to focus more on my academics. Even though basketball had always been one of my prides in life. As my first year in high school continued to go by, I got to know most of my teachers in my school. This changed my life dramatically. The teachers started to show and teach me how to manage my time. They gave so many helpful tips on how to succeed in life. And all of this my mom and dad pushed me through, never doubting that I was going to fail, but to succeed. I will never forget what my mom said, or my dad being there to encourage me on what to do. Now I'm a freshman at Spartanburg Methodist running cross country. With my parents' support and the teachers that helped me through high school, now in college, I'm still maintaining a good GPA on top of excellence in athletics. I am so thankful for the people that have been put in my life, because if it wasn't for them, I would not be where I am today. Thank you for listening to my presentation.